This content is not suitable for persons under 13 years of age. Hello Bots and Bits fans, welcome back. Today we're taking a very good look at the Evolution Toys Tekkaman Blade Mini. It's very mini. Much more mini than the price would suggest, I'm telling you that. I was a little bit taken back by it. I was also a little bit taken back by this warning on the bottom of the box that says 8 months after release they're no longer going to support the product. Well, at least that's what I take from that anyway. It's a weird thing to advertise on your box, but what isn't a weird thing to advertise is my beautiful merch. Check that out, the Total Legend fan shirt. If you're interested in this, head over to www.botsandbits.net where you'll find this and heaps of other ones. Alright, let's stop mucking about and just take a look. Now, first things first, I bought this from the wonderful guys over at showzstore.com. Great service as always, shipped out really fast, even considering what's happening in the world at the moment. Like I said in the intro, the recommended retail price did shock me just a little bit, but the Aussie dollar is trash, so there's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, before we get too carried away, let's go down and take a look at the accessories. Now, first up, you get instructions, which don't really show all that much. We also get his little ears. They are just so tiny and thin. Be very careful with them. Now to attach them, we're just going to carefully snip them. So then we're just going to grab one of these earpieces with the little bit at the bottom, long bit at the top, and I'm just going to push it into this tab hole on the side of his head. Trying to be gentle because the ears are very thin plastic. Then we have Teknoman's Lancer. The sculpting looks alright. The silver is done nice and evenly. I'm seeing a few little spots just here and there in that blade, but overall pretty consistent. A little bit of yellow paint there, that's done alright. For Teknoman to hold these, we're going to use these holdy hands. Now these are white plastic painted black, and they're not done too bad. Got some sprue marks or some like mold lines around the thumbs, but apart from that, they're okay. And then on Teknoman, we just unplug the hand and peg the new one in, and that is nice and stiff. That plastic peg's starting to wobble as I'm pushing it in, and the plastic seems pretty soft on these hands, so be careful when you attempt it. And then the other one. Now if you want to connect both sides together, you can just remove the handle and attach this double adapter that comes with it. Do the same on the other one, and there it is joined together. And to have him hold it, you just slot it in through these fingers and tap it in. Just like that. Nice and tight. We also get his butt flap, which is white plastic, black on the side, a sort of maroon colour here. It looks more red on camera than it actually is, and a little bit of reflective green. And that just pegs into his ass. His butt flap also doubles as a shield with this little white adapter here. It just slots onto his forearm like that, and then when we raise the shoulder pad out of the way, we can then attach the butt flap just on the top of it, like so. It also comes with doing the robot dance hands, party douchebag hands, and I don't know why my wife is mad at me hands. Let's zoom out a little bit and we'll get some size comparisons happening. Here he is with Figma Tekkaman, Figma Evil, the glorious failure that was Squinted Eye Studio Space Knight, MP10 Optimus Prime, and Storm Collectibles Cyrax. Now if you're interested in the Squinted Eye Studio Evolve Tekka, there is a review on my channel, but if you just want to know the final verdict, here's a hint. Come on! No! Alrighty, with that all diddly done, let's finally take a proper good look at Teknoman himself. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think Evolution Toys have done a pretty good job. Now, Teknoman and Tekkaman is one of those animes, sort of like Transformers, where the proportions and the animation quality varies episode to episode. In Tekkaman, it would change every 5 seconds. 1 second, he looks all anime and stylized, and then 5 seconds later, he looks like something your kid drew. So I think this is a pretty good middle ground, detail, color, and style-wise. Especially when it comes to the head sculpt. They just absolutely nailed that. I'm really, really digging how that looks. Now, paint-wise, you can see they've gone for a maroon colour. The camera's picking it up slightly more red than it actually is. You've got a little bit of yellow here on the forehead. The green visor is... I'm really digging this reflective paint. It almost looks like clear plastic, don't you think? The only problem I'm having is just at the top of his mouth here, I've got the slightest little defect. Hang on, here we... Right there. I've just got the tiniest Tiniest little defect. These things happen, but at the cost, I wish it didn't. On the chest, we have some more yellow paint here, and this maroon color is sprayed on top of white, and I do have slightly fuzzy edges around the top, more so on this side. This side actually seems quite crisp. This side is a little bit fuzzy. Given the size of it, you're not going to notice fuzziness on your shelf from back there, but when I'm up close, that fuzziness is annoying me a little bit. We have the first sprue mark I've found on top of the shoulder here with the paint going over the top. Probably not going to bother touching that because of how thick the paint is on there. Gimmicks wise, on the shoulder, you can open up his shoulder pads for the for his tech setter ability. That looks fantastic. I'm glad they went with like clear plastic inserts for this bit instead of reflective paint, because I think it makes all the difference. It really looks awesome. Alright, so articulation wise, the head is on a ball socket and it goes back that far and down that far. Pretty good range, all the way to the side. Plenty of clearance on his back for the back of the head. Shoulders are on ball sockets, so they butterfly back that far and forward that far. They are nice and tight, so we also get the full 360. The arms will go up that far, and you can get slightly more by moving the shoulder pad up. The shoulder pads do articulate, so you can tab them both down. And you can pop on his robot dancing hands for a kind of lame version of his flying attack mode. It doesn't really work. Nice and tight swivel at the bicep, which is just a push plug so it comes off, don't freak out. Nice and stiff, greater than 90-degree bend at the elbow, and wrist swivel, obviously. It's just a ball socket inside for the ab crunch, and you get more left and right than you do forward and back. The hips will move forward that far, back that far, to have a swivel at the thigh, which goes out that far and in that far, nice and tight. We also have a single hinge knee, gets you 90 degrees, which looks great. One thing I don't like about the knee is the joint is white plastic painted black, and you can see that they haven't quite painted the hinges properly because of this pointy detail. Feet are on ball sockets and they go forward that far and back that far, so not much. We do get a slight rock to it, like so. Got some more details on the back, his jetpacks there. I think these were more exhaust ports. Not much going on in the legs here. Very sharp sculpting though, even though they do lack a little bit of detail. So there really isn't a lot going on panel-wise. It's more like flat armor, really. So that is pretty much him. There really isn't much more to say about it, really. So let's go on to final thoughts. So final thoughts wise, is it worth it and should you buy him? It's a hard sell. $50 US, yeah, maybe. With the Australian dollar the way that it is, I feel $80 Australian for us is probably a bit rich. I am still really happy with it though. I cannot really find anything to fault this guy on, except maybe the soft plastic in the push plugs for the hands. I'm a little bit concerned about that. And the size. If this was bigger, even though it's got such simplistic detail, I still think if it was bigger, it would work really well. But if you're a Tekkaman or Technoman fan, once you get over the size of it, I think you're really going to enjoy it. It is a quality piece. The plastic all feels fantastic, and even though those ears were quite thin, I have been messing with them quite a bit, and so far they're pretty durable, so I'm not worried about anything else on this breaking, so I'm pretty pleased, and I think you guys will be as well. And that's it. Now if you enjoyed this video and like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe to my channel. Remember to check out my Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, also the private Facebook group, and my fantastic website, botsandbits.net, for all your bots and bitty news. And as always guys, thank you very much for your time, and thanks for watching.